in your diary. I wanna be inside your diary. Inside your diary.
Hello guys, welcome to the third episode of The Diary Room. The Diary Room is a beautiful extension of Karawa Diary. I promise to you that we're coming back bigger and better. Speaking of charming, today we have on set with us Sharon. Say hi.
Hi.
Sharon is also an actress and she's going to be acting like a consultant for some of the topics we're going to be exploring today. We have Black Sugar. This guy's had this nickname for as long as I think we should start thinking of having a new nickname soon. Have you ever considered a Black Sugar like short form BS?
Are you serious?
You know what BS is?
Are you serious? With me like that?
No, we won't go there. And we have Stefano. He has a nickname that I like him to pronounce on his own.
Chocolate.
What does he mean?
Does your partners?
Wow. This guy says that he can sell fire to hell. I hope he doesn't run when the devil comes for him.
Just wondering why somebody is not hot is going to give him a hot. I'm sweet, that's why I'm Black Sugar.
Alright, and I am your host, Sylvia Windham, and today we're going to be talking about movies. That's right, be back after the break and we dig in.
In your diary. I wanna be inside your diary.
And we're back. Today we're talking about movies, and we definitely cannot start without giving a big ups to A Good Time to Divorce that has 6 awards at the Golden Movie Awards that took place this year in Ghana. We have Best Actor, Best Male Actor, Best Scriptwriter, Best
Overall movie.
Yeah, I actually saw a shot of Alain Menget with 6 awards, and it was a very proud moment. But okay, wow.
For the very first time, our movie industry trended on social media.
I think so. 2017 we had 3 awards for Samba, but it didn't make as much noise as the 2018 one.
There was no buzz. We always have the fashion industry going on, like we have Cameroon fashion, the ones that came out fast, we have music releases that the world talked about, like 2017, Mr. Gill was all over the place, and I forget that. Nothing's really ever heard about the movies.
I think this is a big
I
thing.
think this is a good year,
It's a good year
for the film sector, That's why we had this enormous award, and it's really encouraging, to us filmmakers, and it's very, very exciting because looking at A Good Time to Divorce, the story, everything about it was perfect. It was just on point. I'm sure that's why we had all 6 awards.
Of course, like imagine the best actor, and then took from the likes of Ramsey Noah, legends who have been in the industry.
That's legendary.
Some accolades.
Yeah, that's legendary.
Accolades.
But however, amongst the good news and everything that the Golden Movie Awards is bringing to Cameroon, while we're basking in the glory that A Good Time to Divorce has brought to us generally, not just the film industry, but as a nation, a lot of people still have an issue with the fact that Cameroonian movies are not readily available. Like, a lot of people go online and say, I want to watch, say, Man for the Weekend, for example. Like, I want to pay, I want to buy it. Where can I find it?
Well, I think I'll beg to disagree with you there because a lot of people, first of all, don't know how to use the internet, like how to search for movies. But I think you can go on YouTube, it's much more easier. There are a couple of Cameroonian movies which are online. Also, we have TV stations like Canal English, which is helping too. It's showing they've been showing the Best Girls a lot. I've had people like, so many things like that. And recently we have My Movies, which is a Cameroonian channel showing Cameroonian movies, and you can actually get them there. So I don't see why I think people should be complaining or giving excuses or like.
But I think maybe the issue is coming from. Can we say that 80% of Cameroonian movies are on YouTube?
It's a business too. You cannot just expect somebody after spending a lot of money just put his or her movie out there like that.
Exactly.
Actually, what I have to say is they have set new platforms to distribute. As I said, there's TV, there's YouTube. So I personally think after this we won't have that complaint. There are a couple of movies. There's High TV in Cambodia, there's Chilean music, there is African Movie Channel. Lots of those channels showcasing those movies out there.
Here's another thing, though. I think one of the beauties of movies is the fact that you can be able to watch at your convenience. With TV, you watch or you don't watch. I think many people want to be able to own these things, possess these things, like call
Exactly.
your friends,
That's one of the
let's
things
watch
I
a
was
movie
going to.
tonight.
That's one of the things
Have
I was going to
control
talk about.
over when we watch.
All right, okay. Saying to what you just said right now, I think there's a platform called is it Joka TV?
Yeah.
So you can
Online.
actually go there and you purchase. So you're free to watch at any time. I think our problem is we like Joe too much.
I think basically, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at let's put the digital world aside. We're looking at the layman. We're looking at the guy in the streets
Who's not so much
who
interested in
doesn't
going
have
on YouTube.
access to the internet. Okay, so what are some of the distribution platforms that the entertainment industry has aside the internet, aside there are so many theater tours and stuff that they do to portray movies.
Yeah,
My
like
interest
stores in which we can find this movie.
Exactly. I want to find a store where I walk into and I want to watch A Man for the Weekend.
Exactly.
Or A Good Time to Divorce.
We don't really have a particular, let me say, a distribution way in which our movies are being distributed. I think filmmakers are doing their possible best to make sure that the layman can actually get this movie. I know of MJ Supermarket where movies are being
Where's that?
MJ,
In
you know where
Southwest?
Linas, where Linas is the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of movies which have been placed there. Like, if you need a movie, you can go to MJ Supermarket. It's a supermarket, and you have a section there where Cameroonian movies are being placed.
I think even in
one,
J4V,
you can get there.
movies.
So I think filmmakers are really doing a great deal to make sure that this product goes out there into the market.
What's our concern? You mentioned the layman, right?
Yes.
Where does the layman watch movies? Nigerian movies? African magic.
African Magic on
These
channel.
You guys should stop. See, I think the channel, where they are now, they're doing a good job. There's, if you want to watch online, you can go to Joka TV, watch online, or go to YouTube. If you want, there are now several channels on TV where the layman will not go to supermarket to check. And moreover, one of those days where we rent CDs to watch with our family members.
So are you saying the problem is communication?
No, you cannot expect them to go out and put posters and share CDs. How many people do you watch movie? When's the last time you watched a movie on a CD?
Yeah, but
so the layman we're talking about, I think they're working on that already. There's already a channel where the layman doesn't have to go.
Thank you. I think Black Sugar and Sido were probably trying to gang up on me. It was like when African Magic started, they were like all about their movies.
Yeah,
from 1 second.
24/7.
So that's what we're trying to
thing.
do. You know, we're trying to copy that good part of it, like creating as much channels as we can and make sure that we saturate our people with our movies, because there is television has power.
of course.
As long as you feed somebody with a particular thing, that person is far too well. Whether the person likes it or not,
think about it.
Yeah. Like
Well, that's what
Nigerians
Nigerians
lying that
actually
their jollof
did,
rice is the best.
Okay, that's another thing.
Let's not even
They
get
do a lot
into
of
that.
adverts about it that makes you think like the jollof rice is the best. That's what
But
we're
guys,
doing.
see, the
Creating
thing is-
as many channels as we can to showcase our movies.
I think that the Cameroonian movie industry really has to do a lot of work concerning marketing, because finances are a big reason why movies are available or not available or even made in the first place.
In your diary, I wanna be inside your diary.
Today with me in the studio is one great person that we respect in the film industry. He is an actor, he is a writer, he is an arts director, he's an acting coach, he is a director, he is a scriptwriter. We can go on and on and on. He's just so much. He's super talented. It's no other. Let's welcome Anuri. It's great to have you on set today. How are you?
Pleasure. I'm fine, very fine.
I can see that, and you look good. It's been a while.
Probably we try to cultivate some peace of mind. You know, it's not given to become an actor without training. You know, you need to have talent, which I always say everybody has, but then in having talent, you need to supplement it with skill. So to build my skill, probably I discovered at an early age, as in lower sixth. There's this TV series that CRTV used to show, Fame LA, and it was about performing arts. So I was very fascinated by tap dance.
Okay.
That is what brought me to the tap dance. To tap dance, make music and dance. But well, it's been from that I had to do high school and had a little battle with my late auntie, like my mommy in quotes, whether I should do bilingual letters or I should do performing arts, and I stubbornly chose to do performing arts. And when she discovered like 4 months into it, she was not happy. But at the end, she called me into her room and said, "If this is what you want to do, just be the best at it." And since then, here I am.
And I feel it deep in my marrow and every way.
Actually, when I watched Roots, the book by Alex Haley, the story of Kunta Kinte, at a very, very young age, that is when I had not even decided to be an actor or anything, the story touched me so much. The struggle to preserve his identity was like, I learned that at an early age, and as I grew up to enter arts, I discovered that Africans easily let go and lose their roots. So I decided I was going to put my foot on the ground by creating a taproot, and that taproot is roots art. I always say it, standards is what brings excellence. If you remain low standard, if you don't work to increase knowledge, to increase savvy, standards wouldn't rise, and without those standards you can't get what comes with excellence. And I feel that the film industry everywhere attracts the kind of attention and investments from those that matter by raising standards, by bringing those elements of aesthetics that make the arts intellectually and socially gainful. Until we get there, we are not going to get awards. And I think A Good Time to Divorce, which is a movie that had this number of nominations. Actually, the producer and director worked very hard to have that aesthetic level and standard, which we all saw the effect. I won't be able to answer that because producer and executive producers probably, they have a better view. But given that Cameroon doesn't have a market, and by market I simply mean a system, be it virtual or physical, that can help the consumer get access to a movie. Whatever the case, filmmakers can only do enough or can only go as far as they can to permit the consumers to get it. It's not the place of a filmmaker to market a movie. I always say that.
And I feel it deep in my marrow and every way.
I actually sound stupid when I say I don't know. And actually right now, how far I care is just that, okay, people who really have access to me and they want to watch the movie, I tell them how to watch it, but it's not a movie maker's place to do promotion and distribution and so on. So somebody with the savvy in marketing and distribution has to come up, set up a system. It's just as good as that. It's just a system. You don't need a structure anywhere, A lot of stuff is done digital now. If I can buy stuff from digital stores online, why not set up something digital?
And you mine in the most in our. Am I in our?
It's important that before you take a journey, you know where you come from. And most times I'm very, if not too critical of some of the stories. Well, that has significantly reduced in the last, let's say, 3-4 years. Most Cameroonian story writers are learning to adapt and use our social contexts to tell our stories. But at first, you know, you hear, I'm sure you bear with me that on Facebook and daily life you hear people exclaiming Ewo or Oluwa and so on. Whenever I see that, I really get offended, and I'm tempted to say, look, what a weak brain or weak personality, you know. It is low self-esteem to pick up another person's culture. That's literally what I always say. Let's take the example of the music. Cameroonian urban music has found an identity which is imposing itself, and same thing with the film. So I don't worry that the Western movie is going to overcast it.
There is no me, there is no you, there is just we.
Bias, I wouldn't say, but ignorance, I would say. Ignorance as the root of whatever looks like bias, because anybody who doesn't understand that filmmaking is teamwork is simply not supposed to be in filmmaking, you know. Where there is lack in any expertise, it is wise to seek the expertise from the person who knows it. And if you feel that going there is going to make you look small and so on, it means you don't have the mind of an artist. And God is responsible for all arts, so we just copy from there. So why not accept that you have to learn, and every time you're trying to build a piece of art, you are going to be learning and doing, you know, either learning on the job, or you learn after you finish learning, you go and you do. If not, there will not be what you call innovation or creativity or all of that. Oh yeah, for quite a while now, it's been a very tough battle for me, because at the beginning, when I started thinking that it's important to make sure that even if my generation doesn't bring the excellence I'm always looking for, let the next one do it. Most people, I was called names like Obasabi or Pomnos and some of those kind of let me say appellations which will completely deflate you and discourage you from proceeding. But I always believe that what I have to do, I'm not doing it for me. So if somebody who's not interested decides to see it like it's something bad, I go to somebody who's interested. I see if it's only one person, then that one person is going to make that. Maybe in the next 2 months, there's 2 more persons and so on. Along with my colleagues and friends of Permit Me, Calling Group, we have organized workshops since 2013. And I think till now, it's not always easy. And right now, I'll tell you, I'm very proud to have a directing student now who is impressing me like I've never been impressed before. I'm not going to cite the name because she's involved in something which I want people to discover. You know, I don't always like to brag about it. I want people to discover it.
When I love you, I live, love you, I live, love you, I'm free.
I'll tell you, I'll call one name. You know, his name is Serge Bufo. Maybe you know him like some kind of man. You know, he's one of those persons who has been there from day one of the revival of the Anglophone Cameroon filmmaking. You know, he spent personal money selflessly, and from my chats with him, you know, he lost his job in an insurance company. You know what that means, just because of film. And you know, since then life hasn't been up, and I feel that it is because we don't give people like that the the honor they deserve, that we are not going anywhere. And believe me, what goes around comes around. We need to start being honest, sincere in the way we deal with each other, so that there can be more togetherness, like unity, so that out of that unity, people are going to acknowledge their weaknesses and lapses. Know that if we improve on our weaknesses and lapses, we are going to, in the next, let me say, 18 months, marking that's 2020, we are going to be doing movies. At least we will have 10 movies every after 3 months, which will be qualified in the world market just as a movie, not a Cameroonian or an African movie, just a movie, because that means it meets world-class standards.
In your diary,
We're going to dash into that very, very interesting moment. Hope you're ready. We're going to dash into the hot seat.
The hot seats are usually not good, you know. So, let's see if I can resist and sit
But you
long.
can see I'm so excited. I always like the hot seat.
Okay, so it means it's not good. Okay.
So, okay, these are the rules. Anorin, you have 3 seconds. No, you have 2 seconds to answer each question. A fail to come back means you will do whatever I ask you to do.
Oh, no.
Are you ready?
Oh, no.
I'm so excited. All right. Tick, 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 tick. How many nominations did A Good Time to Divorce get at the Golden Movie Awards? How many Cameroonians are in Black Panther?
2.
The best Cameroonian movie of 2017? Who's your nominee for coming? Your worst movie of 2017?
Moonlight.
Who is your best Cameroonian actress? Are you in love?
Yes.
How many kids do you hope to have?
3.
Who did you share your best on Sentis with?
Never.
Your favorite members of this show?
Caleb.
What's the name of this show?
Diary Room.
Oh my god! He got almost everything! Hope you had a great time.
Oh, this is very fulfilling.
Thank you for honoring our invitation. It was wonderful having you on set.
Pleasure.
That was what we kept for you. Hope you had a great time.
in your diary. I wanna be inside your diary.
Great interview there from Anorin, aka Root Arc. He's played a wonderful role in the Cameroon movie industry, and I think that he's one of the unsung heroes that we should probably always be able to celebrate.
I had an opportunity to actually meet Anorin.
Okay.
You know, it was like my experience was remarkable and powerful. I've never seen such humility.
Alright. I think his publicist needs to get this.
No.
So that
like-
we can just
We're
put
not
it
there.
in some,
It
you
was
know,
there, don't-
adverts about Anorin.
No, I'm
things he
serious.
does.
Like
Okay.
he walked up to me and I
I
was
really
like,
don't just want to.
are you sure you don't want to hear my experience?
No, I
No,
want
it's
to, but
okay.
I
It's okay.
don't just want to say because I have a whole lot of things to say about it.
Yeah, Anorin was like,
Actually,
hey, you're
actors
Because
are-
an adorable man. Yes, an adorable.
Okay. Alright.
Don't think about it, Sylvia.
No, honey, we don't do that here. All we do is just say okay.
When a great guy like that greets you, this is how you can walk around.
That's not how I walk around.
Wow, Caleb, you know that's like the most outstanding thing about you because you're really black and then you have white teeth. It's I don't know, it's something that Colgate people should
Are
be
we
able to
still
think
talking
about.
about Anorin?
No, actually what we're talking about now is Cameroonians with international deals.
Yep.
And of course the Black Panther girls come up on the list because Black Panther was still in the fever of Black Panther. Yeah, that's right. Constance Ejuma, that and Sasha Mufo, excuse me. Those are like our 2 top people with international deals.
And this
they
is
were
one of
recently-
the proofs, like we said in our last show, that Cameroonians are so talented.
Yes,
I don't
they
know.
are. We
It's,
are.
I think it's the need for bigger platforms. Like there's always space for everybody at the top, but
Yeah.
we need to find bigger platforms to place these people at the top. To think that one of these Cameroonians played the role
And we
of
actually consider because not just
Okoye, that's the role that Constance Ejuma played the role of Okoye.
It's amazing.
the Alpha warrior or some lead warrior in Wakanda or something like that. And it was actually amazing. We have this other person that recently got a role in Blackish, Cameroonian.
I was just about to say
Oh
that.
yes, Kelly Azia. Kelly Azia. She's one of the actresses in the Investing Girl. different
kinds of
men.
Really?
Yeah, it's a Cameroonian movie that came out in 2013, and Blackish is already a big deal in America. Of course, we've had a spin-off from it, Grownish, with the
Yara,
daughter, the first
Yara
Sorry,
Yara. Yara Rashidi.
Okay.
What a name.
Is she Israeli or Iranian?
She's beautiful.
You know what? That's how you shut it down.
I hope you don't have your eyes on her.
That's how you shut it down. Everybody, a lot of girls have their eyes on her, so Stefano doesn't stand a chance. But anyway, we're talking about Kelly Azia.
She's not saying a lot of girls, so
Fine, it's fine.
Oh,
Whoever you are that has
this
this heart,
is
it's
sad.
okay.
I mean, how could they send you up and bring you down so badly? That's so.
Back to Kelly. We're sorry for being in the spotlight. Kelly is. You were talking about Cameroonians being very talented, and for you to be able to land a role in Blackish with how big Blackish is right now, that's amazing.
How many seasons already?
Season 4.
Season 4. Yeah,
Wow.
and I don't know. Have you worked with Kelly before on movie set?
I've really not worked with her on this particular set before, but I had an opportunity to meet her, and she's quite an amazing woman,
Okay.
She's very down to earth, she's simple, she loves smiling, she's adorable.
The thing about all of these people, they're always down to earth. Is she short?
That's cool.
I think it's important that we also highlight that most of these Cameroonian actresses that are making it big, they have a history, they have a part of their lives that is spent here.
Yeah.
Because most people feel like, Cameroonians in Bush that have international deals were born there, so they were obviously going to excel there. But Constance Ejuma grew up in Kumba.
Something to emulate.
Yeah, she grew up in Kumba, and she was, we have a Kumba fan back there. And she was, I think at a young age, it said that at a young age she used to admire Indian movies and she wanted to be a Bollywood princess. But today she's much more than that. She's a Hollywood princess. She's a Hollywood princess.
Dreams do come true.
Dreams do come true.
And
so
I must say she's
don't let your children go to too much school.
Please, I don't want to be tribalist, but she's Bakase.
Really? So you just have to put out the
So you had to put out
the
that.
tribe card now.
Yeah, I had to.
I think it would just be nice to look for actresses in your village, so that next time we have the show, your village people can challenge them.
We're going to get down like this, throwing shades on set.
Oh no, we're not throwing shade. We're not throwing shade, but I think we're celebrating Cameroonian actors and actresses that are doing us proud out there. And speaking of celebrating movies, we can't talk about movies without talking about Camif. Yeah, Agbo Gilbert, he's been putting us on the map when it comes to Camif. And
the Cameroon Annual Film Festival.
That's right. I think the ambassador is Ramsey Noah. Yeah.
Who didn't show up for this year's Camif, and I don't understand why all of the hurdles. But one thing I must say is, which I can't keep out of this show, is why Camif always has to end with bad scandal.
Preach.
Please, sugar.
Okay.
It's an entertainment industry. Why do we try to focus on the negativity?
No, I didn't focus on it. I was just like,
Camille
why?
brings a lot of good opportunities. It happens even in Hollywood,
But when you do bad 1-2 times, it then starts becoming.
It happens everywhere.
It happens everywhere. But what we're saying is,
it happens in Nollywood.
This year probably ends with something else.
So what's in this? What actually is this scandal?
There is something I must say. There's a saying that goes, charity starts begins at home. Why don't we, instead of showcasing the hurdles and everything that went wrong with Camille, why don't we showcase the wonderful things that went there, like the opportunities we have, the networking? Come on.
I must confess that one of the reasons why Camille became so popular, partly is a contribution of the scandal. Should I prove to you? Because Cameroonians are so intrigued by scandal. And then they begin to question like, what is Camille in the first place? What happened to sex? Camille did that with who? Who did what? Like, really, Camille, what is that show?
But when it comes to bad news, from all my experience I've had in the media, when bad news sells.
So
it's good to have some level of batteries attached sometimes.
Too, because it has made a lot of people know more about Camille. They heard sex and it was like, oh, what is Camille? And it made them want to discover and they got to know. So probably it's a good thing at the end of the day.
So to add to what you're saying, you don't only have to showcase the wonderful, showcase what you can. Just tell us about Camille.
No, I brought that point up because I know us Cameroonians.
No, if there was negative, if there was scandal there, then show it off. Let it be there. Just
and there's kind of
what are you saying that we should be able to always put the negative things there so that it sells more?
If there was a positive thing, definitely there would be a negative thing. There are audience for that love scandal. You say Cameroonian audience love scandal.
Alright.
There are some people out there who love
does someone
wonderful
want to
things.
give our audience the scandal of this year? Maybe they should understand where we're coming from.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if it's a very good thing to talk about, but last year it was an issue of an actress having something to do with one of the international actors who came in for the scandal this year.
When you say something to do, when you say something to do, you're talking about sexual.
Yeah, I'm talking about sexual.
I'm
talking about a sexual relationship.
Okay, and then what happened this year?
Same thing this year, exact same thing. In fact, the only thing that was different is the people involved.
And I go like this.
I mean, I'm like, why? Is it same story?
And
different people?
You remember
is it part of a movie?
Science says alike charges repel, unlike charges attract. So what do you expect when you put a male and a female in the same place? There's bound to be some,
So wait. So what you're saying?
Should we break this down?
No, I'm just trying to say over the thing, when it's not what happens when you put a male and a female in the same.
I have the feeling that you're going to leave your pregnancy.
Definitely, sir. Actors.
Well,
we have young people looking up to them, so you cannot just make sex.
True.
You don't just wake up.
I'm not trying to highlight justify. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Justify the act, but it happens to two different let me use sense, two opposite charges or two opposite sexes. It's bound to happen.
So what you're saying is it happened because they put them in one. So what you're trying to say, are you saying the story or the scandal is true?
I didn't say that. Okay. Are you trying to put something out of I didn't say that.
No, because you're an actress, so it would be nice for us to, take an advantage and paint it out of you. If it's true, because were you there?
I wasn't there, so I can't say if it's true or not.
So what you're
saying? But you're friends with these people, probably Snapchat, WhatsApp, moments of honesty, confession. No, I'm being honest, and I think everybody knows that Sharon is an actress. So.
Aside all of the scandal that goes up, do you think Agbo Gibe deserves some accolades?
Of course he does.
I think he has worked very hard.
You deserve some accolades.
I think he has worked very hard in the Cameroonian movie industry, and Cameroon has been a wonderful initiative. It is his initiative, by the way, and it goes about workshops and signing international partnerships to be able to networking. And he also recognizes Cameroonian actors and actresses that have been remarkable.
And he's also very outspoken guy.
Very outspoken. I've met Gilbert before, and he's not the kind of guy you forget in a hurry. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. No, honey, we're not going back to that. We're not going back to that. And it's not even like that. You guys should make people to call me after this. So. Alright guys, after the break, make sure you're back. We're rounding it off.
guys, that's all we had time for. We hope you enjoyed the show. Show us love on our social media by liking us on the link you see below the screen right now. And we have to say that today we were being shot by Fahrenheit Pictures. And we are looking this amazing, especially Sharon and I. No hate, guys. We're looking this amazing thanks to Minami Extra. She did us a real good solid one on our faces with the makeup. And a big thank you to our guest, Cameroon aka Fruit Arts, for being with us on the show. We hope you're going to enjoy that bit as well as we did. We're also saying thank you to the crew members that were with us today, all the insights and all the fun we've been having on set. Starting with Sharon, we have Caleb, Black Sugar, the BS guy, and we having Stefano. Yeah, don't give me that look. And from us, especially me, Sylvia, it is bye-bye. Till next time, make sure you watch the 4th episode that is coming to you soon. Bye.
In your diary, I wanna be inside your diary.